You know, antibiotics are without a doubt lifesavers. But let's be honest, they're also kind of like a bull in a china shop when it comes to our gut health. So the big question is, how can you get all the benefits of an antibiotic without that backlash? Today we're going to dig into the powerful team up between antibiotics and probiotics that does exactly that. So here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll tackle the antibiotic dilemma. Then we'll see what happens when your gut is under siege. After that, we bring in the good guys with the probiotic rescue, see how they form a strategic alliance, and we'll wrap it all up with a simple action plan you can put to use. All right, let's jump right into section 1, the antibiotic dilemma. This is all about getting to grips with what these powerful medications do and, the hidden costs that come along for the ride. So let me just ask you this straight up. If you're taking antibiotics or have in the past, have you ever really stopped to think about what's going on inside your gut? It's a really important question because the answer, well, it might just surprise you. Okay, so what are antibiotics at their most basic level? Well, they're medications designed to do one of two things, either kill bacteria outright or just stop them from multiplying. And they are incredibly good at it. But, and this is a big but, that amazing effectiveness has a catch. And that catch, well, it leads us perfectly into our next section, gut under siege. This is where we look at the unintended side effects of that powerful antibiotic action. This quote just nails the problem perfectly. See, most of the antibiotics we get are broad spectrum. They aren't like a sniper taking out a specific target. They're more like a bomb that takes out everything in the area. They simply cannot tell the difference between the bad bacteria making you sick and all the good bacteria your gut needs to stay healthy. So they just wipe them all out. And this collateral damage leads to a really common side effect. Get this, somewhere between 5 and 35% of people who take antibiotics get something called antibiotic-associated diarrhea, or AAD. That is a huge range, and it just goes to show how disruptive this whole process can be for your body. This slide really paints the picture, doesn't it? On one side, you've got a healthy gut. It's this thriving, balanced ecosystem, but on the other side, after antibiotics, it's like a barren wasteland. When all the good bacteria are gone, it leaves the door wide open for opportunistic bad guys, like a particularly nasty one called C. diff, to move in and take over. But it is not all doom and gloom. Now that we've seen the problem, let's talk about the solution. And that brings us to the probiotic rescue. You could say if antibiotics lay siege to the gut, then probiotics are the reinforcements coming to save the day. So what are these things anyway? Probiotics are literally the good guys. They are beneficial bacteria, or sometimes yeast, that can help bring that balance back and support your entire gut ecosystem. We're talking better digestion, a stronger immune system, all that good stuff. And how do they actually do it? Well, it's a pretty smart two-pronged attack. First, they act like cheerleaders for the other good bacteria, encouraging them to grow and rebuild the team. But at the same time, they're also competing with the bad guys for food and space, basically crowding them out so they can't get a foothold. And this leads us to the main event, the strategic alliance. I mean, how do these two opposites, one designed to destroy bacteria and one designed to support them, how do they actually team up for your benefit? Probiotics are seriously like a special forces unit for your gut. They don't just show up, they get to work. They actually produce their own antimicrobial compounds to fight off pathogens. They compete for the best real estate along your gut lining, and they even help strengthen the gut wall itself. They are actively protecting and rebuilding from the inside. And this strategy, it gets incredible results. A major review from 2021 found that taking probiotics along with antibiotics slashed the risk of antibiotic-associated diarrhea in adults by a massive 37%. Just think about that. That makes you over a third less likely to suffer from one of the most common side effects. This isn't just theory. It's backed by some serious data. So we know this stuff works. Now, for the really important part, how do you actually do it right? Let's get into our final section, your action plan, and lay out a clear strategy for success. It really all comes down to 3 simple steps. First, check your probiotic. Not all are created equal. You want a tough one that can survive the antibiotic. Look for yeast called Saccharomyces boulardii or spore-forming probiotics like Bacillus species. Second, time it right. This is absolutely critical. You want to take your probiotic at least 2 hours before or after your antibiotic dose. That gives the good guys a safe window to get in and set up shop. And third, keep it up. Don't stop when the antibiotics are done. Your gut is in recovery mode, so keep taking that probiotic for at least another week to help it rebuild. So if you remember just one single thing from all this, please make it this. Taking the right kind of probiotic at the right time isn't just a nice little health hack. It is a proven, powerful strategy to help shield your gut from the necessary but harsh effects of antibiotics. And that just leaves one final question for you to think about. Is your gut getting the support it needs? The next time you find yourself needing antibiotics, having a plan in place for your gut can make all the difference in the world.